King of the Dothraki, king of the ponytails, and almost king of the worst death in Season 1 of Game of Thrones, but was Khal Drogo killed too early? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. Today, we're going to be looking at Khal Drogo and a poll that we put up on the channel asking the question, was he killed too early? Now, I referred to him as the king of the Dothrakis because he was the leader, he was the main man, he was the ultimate warrior, you know, he was the fighter, he was the man, okay? And obviously that ties into his ponytail, because if you don't lose, you get to grow your ponytail. He had a fucking long ponytail because he didn't lose any fights. But I referred to him as king of the worst deaths because his death did seem a little bit flat to me. It felt like a jobber death. Yeah, he ends up dying because of the wound and it gets infected. But for me, the only death worse than this is probably King Robert getting taken out by a pig. It's still a pretty weak death, where in reality, this didn't need to happen. Drogo could have just killed Mango easily, but he had to be macho and push his chest against Mango's blade and not intentionally get himself infected, but you know, it was such a fucking dumb way to die. It was almost like he wanted to show off, oh, you and your blade can't hurt me, so pierce my chest, and then 2 days later I'm going to die of an infection. Khal Drogo, I mean, good character, great warrior. Would have liked to have seen more of him. We'll talk a little bit more. Was he killed too early? But the actual death itself, it's not even like Mango just got a shot in and managed to inflict a wound. Khal Drogo basically self-fucking harmed here, you know, he just pushed his chest against Mango's blade. I thought it was dumb. Dumb way to die.
It was a dumb way to die, but I'm beginning to think he's wearing a wig. I don't think all this battle thing was up to... I mean, how do you die of this? No, it's embarrassing. He's trying to tell me he's never been cut before.
So you think his death's worse than King Robert's?
Yeah, I would.
You think it's worse?
I think Robert's death suited him.
Drunk.
He'd lost his way.
Aye, yeah, drunk.
This guy's at the peak of his powers. He's like the most feared fighter in the Seven Kingdoms, and he gets killed by a little cut that anyone would receive. I mean, look at Ned. He gets speared through the leg, and it's like he's kept in a dungeon. And he walks off.
As far as I'm aware, I don't think Mango had any sort of, or Margo. I think his name's Mango. I'm going to call him Mango. I don't think Mango had any sort of poison on his blade. I think it was just a matter of Khal Drogo getting cut and, I don't know, maybe didn't wash it correctly, or what was the correct procedure back? I don't know. Fuck, why did he get infected?
Maybe it's just to do with that witch that was there, and they think, oh, she had something to do with it. Who knows? But for me,
well, in fact, if you watched the show, you would have realised that she had nothing to do with it, and the whole reason she used the blood magic was to try and save Khal Drogo, who was already at that point infected. Now, yeah, she put a curse on him, but he was already infected before she did any of her magic shit, so, yeah.
Maybe she did magic behind the scenes?
Nah, I think you're throwing her under the bus there.
Nah,
the Game of Thrones doesn't really do things off screen.
That's good to know.
Anyway, Khal Drogo.
Just apart from pretty much everything that's happened, like the Mad King, all that was off screen, but yeah.
No, hold on, that happened before those events happened before the show began. That's clutching at straws. That's like saying, oh, Breaking Bad. No, hold on.
Off the fucking peg.
Well, that's true, actually, I'll give you that one. That's like saying, Walter White's 21st birthday happened off screen in Breaking Bad.
That has no impact on the fucking story.
Who knows? Maybe he found out how to cook meth or something on his 21st birthday. Anyway, let's move on here. So, like I said, I think the death was just a bit poor.
It was poor.
You know, at least if it was a battle wound, then fair enough. But it was a self-inflicted wound. Fucking pretty shite, if you ask me. Anyway, we asked you guys, was he killed off too early? 2 options. Yes and no. 142 votes later, 82% of you people believe that Khal Drogo was killed off too early in Game of Thrones, and 18% of you say no. So yeah, pretty overwhelming. That's more than 4/5 of this the voting.
I think he was killed off way too early, man.
Now you know what?
The guy up on his horses to do that.
I thought that as well, but see, looking back at hindsight, I was a bit annoyed when all my favourite characters were getting killed off in Game of Thrones. But looking back in hindsight, I think it does make a little bit of sense here that you can't really take Khal Drogo. How can he be the serious? How can he be like the antagonist? How can he be like the threat? How can he be the guy that is going to win the throne for Daenerys when she has fucking dragons? Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, he's a great warrior, but once she has dragons, I mean...
Can you not drag that out a bit more? I thought the finale was incredibly weak. I don't have a dragon reference.
No, I think they could have, but I don't really see how Khal Drogo stays relevant once the dragons come into play.
Well, maybe he doesn't have to die. Maybe he just gets ousted and he's left by them in the dragons.
You know, it's like you could have a great sniper, but see if you've also got a nuclear fucking weapon. I mean, do you really need the sniper?
Oh, absolutely. But could they not just removed him and he could have been an obstacle later down the line, no? Something like that.
Removed who?
Khal Drogo feel like their wee faction. Could she not have went, I've got the dragons, fuck you, Kogo?
That was her husband, mate. Like, hardly.
Oh, alright, I'm thinking it loud here, hoping someone's listening, and obviously the guy
Hopefully fucking no,
hopefully
hopefully no one's listening if you're coming out with garbage like that. But yeah, anyway, I think...
hold on, like, I mean, see Robert, right, he didn't have to necessarily die.
Well, I think he did have to die for Ned to push.
Jaime Lannister could have fucking locked him in the basement and everyone would have forgot him after 10 minutes.
Like, I think Khal Drogo, I mean, I like Khal Drogo. Maybe they could have dragged him into season 2, maybe they could have had the dragons hatch later, but I do think once there's 3 fucking dragons coming into the equation, how much do you really need this one great warrior?
Exactly. That's it. He wasn't needed, and once the dragons get introduced, Khal Drogo was in a slice of bread.
Shelf life was limited, expired, as some retail workers would say. But let's move into the comments then. So
I'm not one of them.
Well, let's see what they've got. Midnight Black Roses says, I don't think Dany could have grown as a character. If he hadn't, she would have been in his shadow. Which I guess is, I mean, true maybe. Maybe. Blank Imperium says, for the best, Dany's character was always trash. Would have been way more better if Drogo had some dragons. But a guy like Khal Drogo, he's like a man. He wants to win the war. He wants to go hand to hand. He doesn't want to.
But does her rise to the top not work better if it's like a slow burner? I mean, I'm not saying she's at the top at the end of season 1, but I mean, he's dead. She's got the dragons, and it's almost like that's a massive blow to waiting for everyone to come.
It's like Khal Drogo when he's taking on that Mango guy.
He doesn't need dragons.
Does he want dragons to kill him, or does he want to do it with his bare hands? I think Drogo's more of a hands-on kind of guy.
He is, but dragons help if you're taking over a kingdom.
Like Viserys, did he want to have a dragon burn him, or did he want to pour melting gold over his head? I think Khal Drogo's the kind of guy that wants to
date himself.
DIY.
So
DIY Drogo.
Not that tag team, by the way.
Otto WW289 says Drogo with dragons wouldn't be interesting. He would just order them to burn things all around all the time. I don't think you'd really need them. When you're an alpha male, I don't think you need dragons.
Call of Duty, man, you're on like a 25 kill streak and you've no called in your kill streak yet because you're the man. You're like Steven Seagal.
Nah, you don't need the AC 130. No, you really don't. And then Otto WW said he needed to die for Dany's character arc, so no. I mean, I think that's fair. I like Khal Drogo. I like Jason Momoa in Game of Thrones, but was he killed too early? I mean, probably not. He needs to die, I guess, before the other stories can advance. But maybe they could have dragged it a little bit more. I would have liked to have seen Drogo in a bit more action. I mean, all we really got to see him was take on a fellow Dothraki. Could we have seen Khal Drogo go 1-on-1 with one of the Seven Kingdoms' great swordsmen? That would have been a good fight. But nah, we didn't get to see it. Or we just got to see Khal Drogo lay there and die because he got infected on the chest.
He's the sort of guy who should get infected and come back from it, not fucking die. I bet you there's going to be more people in this show, jobbers, who get this and come back.
Aye, so anyway guys, there you go. Khal Drogo couldn't survive an infection and he's pretty much dead. Till next time, peace.